Let's go. Come on, Diggs. Come on, Diggs. Hey, back in the way, step up. Up top. Hard. Got it. Fair fight. Look. Take it back in the way, step up. Up top. Hard.
That always works. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. That's triple one. Let's see your luck. That's triple one. Let's see your luck. CABC more. When Mark Ready was 95.
Do you have what it takes to become an officer in the United States Army? To live honorably? To lead honorably? And to demonstrate excellence? For over 200 years, the United States Military Academy, steeped in history, tradition, and the timeless values of duty, honor, country, has graduated leaders of character for the Army and the nation. Are you built to be part of the Long Gray Line? West Point, where leaders are made.
I spoke with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and further pressed on the question of how many Americans could need a way out. Does the U.S. have a number now on the number of Americans still in Afghanistan who've not been able to make their way to the airport?
We don't have a precise number, and the reason is because we ask Americans to register with the U.S. government when they arrive in country. So a number of people come, they sign up, and then they leave and never let us know they left. And so we can't know for certain exactly how many Americans are in country.
We've been hearing a lot of stories about people unable to get to the airport because the Taliban are pushing crowds back. Are you telling me there is a safe and reliable route now to the airport for anyone who wants to leave?
We have gotten regular reports that American citizens seeking to come to the airport have been able to get to the airport. The issue that we are confronting is that at the gates of the airport there are large crowds. We're working through that. We're getting them through. We're getting them on planes. We're going to keep doing that in the days ahead.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying that any American in Afghanistan right now who wants to leave, that their government will not leave them behind?
We will get any American who wants to get to the airport and who we get in contact with who says, I want to get out and get on a plane, we will make that happen.
Is there any fear or concern that this could become a hostage situation in which people are not allowed to leave?
I want to level with the American people. This is a risky operation. We right now have established contact with the Taliban to allow for the safe passage of people to the airport, and that is working at the moment to get Americans and Afghans at risk to the airport. That being said, we can't count on anything. And we have to worry about all kinds of contingencies. One of the contingencies we are very focused on, laser focused on, is the potential for a terrorist attack by a group like ISIS-K, which of course is a sworn enemy of the Taliban. So we will keep working to minimize the risks and maximize the number of people on planes.
Turning to Afghanistan now, with tens of thousands trying to flee that country and escape Taliban rule, our Richard Engel has a first-hand account of the journey out, alongside a group of Afghans, most leaving the only home they've ever known.
Thousands of Afghans were evacuated overnight from Kabul airport. They're thankful to be escaping Taliban rule, but it isn't pretty to flee a war zone. We watched one group of hundreds of Afghans gathered in front of the departure hall leading to the runways. They wait outside for hours until the planes arrive. Surrounded by trash, always under guard. Most arrive here already exhausted because to get here, they had to navigate through Taliban fighters who control the airport perimeter and whose idea of crowd control is using guns and whips.
Outside the airport, the people don't let me go in.
Did you see the Taliban beating people?
Yeah, the people beating and they're shooting, like they run behind you with the AK-47. And they pong, 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 pong.
What do you think about what is happening right now to your country, to you?
Yeah, our country right now is finished. No more Afghanistan.
Eventually, they're moved inside to a waiting room. A Marine tries to lighten the mood, joking with the children. They're given water and military rations. Then more moves and more waiting. There's no fixed time for how long it takes. Some are Afghan Americans, others are seeking asylum. Most have just one bag to start their new lives.
We've now landed in Doha, Qatar. This has been a long journey for the Afghans. It has also been a very emotional one. Yes, they're now safe. They'll be processed here, some going to the United States, others to different countries. But many also know they may never see their homeland again.
All right, Richard, well, thank you for your reporting inside Afghanistan.
It's time to put Americans first. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, our elites in politics and the media, they really want you to know that they care deeply about the Afghan people, so much that they want to bring as many Afghans here to the United States as possible.
Accepting Afghan refugees and the willingness to accept more, because we have to do more.
The integration of refugees in particular has been a great American success story. We're actually quite good at it here in America. 50,000 Afghan refugees in a nation of over 300 million is not even a drop in the bucket.
Across the United States, we are seeing widespread support for Afghan refugees, but for refugee resettlement in general.
And while it's certainly heart-wrenching to see the needless suffering wherever it occurs in the world, it's just awful. None of us want to see that. But why is it that most of the same people who you just saw in those clips and all these politicians, all the people who were going on and on, we're going to let everybody in the country, why do they so often ignore the very real suffering happening here at home? You don't have to go to the Afghan provinces near Bagram to see human tragedy. You can see it not far from here, in Baltimore. In the last 3 weeks, 5 teenagers have been shot there, 2 of them fatally. One 15-year-old was gunned down in the street in broad daylight. You don't have to go to Kandahar to see thousands living in constant fear of violence. You can go to Chicago to see that. 16 were shot yesterday alone, including a 7-year-old boy who was sitting in the back of his mom's car. It's all horrifying, but we shouldn't be surprised. When the Taliban terrorizes Afghans, it's an Islamic fundamentalist extremist cult. After all, come on. But what's our excuse? Why aren't we more shocked? Why aren't we demanding a response to the gangs and the cartels, the opioid, all of it terrorizing our neighborhoods right here at home? In fact, the left has only made matters worse on the ground for the working class here at home. They excused riots. They bailed out criminals. They endorsed the racist, radical agenda of BLM. And Democrats, in bed with the left on all of the issues, of course, they've helped make all things worse at every turn. Every person now demanding that we take every Afghan because we promised them forgets that America's first promise is to her own citizens, their safety, their security, and their freedom. Yet our border towns are being overrun by released migrants because Biden refuses to do what's right on the border. They know that COVID-infected migrants will infect American citizens and school children this fall. They know crime is going to spike due to the million-plus migrants Biden's already released into the country. And they don't care. In fact, their goal right now is to speed up the admission of these migrants into the United States. Just yesterday, the administration announced new rules to empower bureaucrats who will now unilaterally decide whether an illegal alien shows up at our border should be allowed entry into the United States. These open borders fanatics cannot be trusted to safeguard our sovereignty and enforce our laws. It's been obvious for a long time that when you really think about it, the elites have pretty much had it with Americans. They like China a lot better in many ways. Remember, regular Americans, well, they elected Trump. They love their Second Amendment still, and they're far too religious. And at their core, they come from a kind of evil and racist background. Thus, the more folks from other countries who can come here, the better. Even if we can't really vet them, even if they become wards of the state, even if they bring in more crime, more violence, their extended family comes in, third cousins twice removed, to the left, to the open borders establishment, they're better than the old normal. The next 3 years, we'll see blunder after blunder from Biden as his team drifts from one crisis to the next. So what should conservatives in power do now? Well, the first thing we should do is resist the Democrat spending binge that's happening. That money is just going to be wasted because Biden's team are not competent administrators. Second thing we should do, defend the states who are trying to do the right thing. You know, red states are leading the way economically, and they're leading the way to help protect our cherished freedoms. We cannot let Biden bully them or the inept blue state leaders drag them down. And third, I think we should obviously protect our border. The GOP may be divided on the immigration amnesty issue and refugees, but we should agree on the rule of law and resist all immigration actions that are not in strict accordance with duly passed laws. And fourth, of course, we have to fight inflation. That includes pressuring the Federal Reserve to take more aggressive action to stop inflation and block disastrously big spending bills. Number 5, we should continue to beat the drum for energy independence. We did it under Trump. It was awesome. We can do it again. Lower energy prices mean more prosperity. It means more jobs for all Americans. 6, we have to try to win in every state. How about that concept? Because for the last 25 years, Republicans have focused on winning a majority by capturing a slim number of red states and then picking up a few purple states here and there. It's really hard to do. And that strategy, as we saw, has failed, and it's allowed the hard left to build solid support on the two coasts that they dominate now. That can't stand. For all their problems, California and New York are too important to concede to the left. They're both beautiful, great states. We got to win them back. If we really want to stop the socialists who despise our country, want to destroy our country, want to import more people into our country to kind of balance out or swamp the old normal, well, we have to see some big landslides. Remember, Reagan fought for every state, and he eventually won 49 of them. We have to try to do the same. The time is right to take our religious freedom, our message of freedom and prosperity to the voters on two coasts. And to the inner cities, you bet, they have to hear our message too. People are suffering there from incompetent leadership. They're dying there because of incompetent leadership. If we must live through a repeat of the 1970s with Biden, let's try to follow it with a repeat of the 1980s. And that's the angle.
And welcome back. This morning in Food for Thought, a trip to the Jersey Shore to a place called Compassion Cafe. In case you can't tell by the name, they do a lot more than serve just coffee and muffins. Senior business correspondent Stephanie Rule has their story. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, guys. I just want to say we have all gotten to tell a lot of really special stories. This is my all-time favorite. You know, I spend a lot of time down on the Jersey Shore. I cover small businesses. This story, this business blew my mind and it touched my heart. Watch this.
How you doing? Good, how are you? Good.
Zachary Applegate is 28 years old, and since he started working at Compassion Cafe, he's had many roles.
My job was today, I was like cleaning tables.
He's also been a greeter at the front door and recently in charge of the cash register. But Zach knows his responsibilities go even further.
What's your favorite part about this job?
I always like to make everybody happy when they come in.
Compassion Cafe is a pop-up coffee shop on the Jersey Shore that gives adults with disabilities the chance to work and earn a paycheck. As customers pick up coffee, muffins, and bagels, they also get a taste of kindness.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Compassion Cafe, where did this come from?
So it's kind of just been a heart project, a love project.
Erin Sharkey opened the cafe with her Aunt Sue in May. During the pandemic, the two spoke about doing something for the community, specifically the many Americans with disabilities that have few job options. With Erin's training in behavioral therapy and Sue's experience as a teacher, they wanted to be able to give some the opportunity.
What can I do for you? I feel like this was the perfect time to give families and these kids hope and something to do and something with meaning and also to make money. Like, who doesn't want to make money?
Grace Ridenhoff is one of those people.
I'm so happy that they hired me here and I like it here. It's fun.
This summer, she's one of 50 employees ranging in age from 17 to 42 working at the nonprofit cafe. They can work up to 8 hours a week and earn the minimum wage in New Jersey, $12 an hour, like 17-year-old Robin Close.
You're getting a paycheck. What are you doing with that money?
I'm going to save it for my first concert.
What concert do you want to go to?
I want to go to a Sam Smith concert.
The pop-up is also drawing in visitors like Sarah Regimenti, who drove an hour and a half with her family to check out the cafe.
When you walked in, what'd you think?
I was blown away by how much that everybody was doing. They're learning all these life skills that they're going to need, people skills, money skills.
She hopes that one day her 13-year-old daughter could work at a place like it.
We don't know, what her future holds, and she needs opportunities like this to learn skills to give back to the community.
It's something employers can learn from as well.
You have employees that can't move quickly.
Yeah.
But they can move with heart, with the best of intentions. Is that a lesson for all of us?
Yeah. Like, that's their way of showing, like, hey, with a little grace and a little patience, you can get really good coffee and incredible service.
But coffee and muffins aren't enough to keep the cafe running, so it relies on donations from the community and space from a local ice cream shop and a nearby church.
Business-wise, our model doesn't make sense, right? Because today we have 21 kids working throughout the 4 hours. But our model isn't really to benefit profit-wise. It's to provide meaningful and paid employment to everybody who steps through our door and says that they're interested.
For Erin, though, it's more than a paycheck. The cafe is a stepping stone, giving these teens and adults practical skills for other jobs and showing the world what they can do.
It reaches so many more than just the employees because it gives family hope where I don't think they had hope previously.
What a beautiful story. Yeah. And you are crying hysterically because I know how important it is for you to use our platform to tell that story and that your family's watching.
My family right now, my mom and my kids, they're at Compassion Cafe watching it. But the reason I think this story is so important is because this is an opportunity for all of us to reimagine our workforce. We all talk about it every day. We've got a labor shortage in this country. Well, over 80% of people with disabilities aren't working, and a lot would like to. And since the cafe opened and they closed in the fall, several grocery stores and restaurants have hired some of their employees.
Wow.
And this is an opportunity coming out of COVID to say we need a little more grace and patience. Let's think about who we can have in our workforce. There's a whole lot of great people out there.
It's just a lesson for customers too, to find that grace and the patience and meeting people and learning things outside of your little rush, I want my coffee right now.
Yes, we keep hearing all of these stories about customers angry about their long waits, arguing with waiters and waitresses. I've been to this restaurant now many, many times, and every time I've been there, it's been an amazing experience. I'd love to see this happen all across the country.
I love it.
And you're right. This should not be the exception. This should be the norm for all big companies. Stephanie, thank you for shining a light on that story so much. And you can donate, right?
You can go to their website, compassioncafe.org, and you can donate. It's a nonprofit.
Such a beautiful story. And up next, it's time for something different. Shop today, my chat with Aisha Curry, and a whole lineup of products to help you turn over a new leaf this fall. Then later, it's a blast from the past. Tom, I know you're excited about this one. It's your era. A look at the hottest back-to-school fashion trends. The 90s are back. We'll be right back.